Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be featuring this Exeggutor team that Parker Simmons used to get top 4 at the most recent Louisville Regional Championships. The team is absolutely wild. We've got, like I said, the Exeggutor, there's a Zoroark, we have eggs, then we have what could be eggs, what might not be eggs. Outside of that, it looks like a pretty standard Trick Room team. Either way, still a very wild team. We got Clear Smog, Undead Torkoal to help deal with some of the setups as well. If you guys are looking, there is a full team report on Parker's channel. I will link that down below. Be sure to check that out if you are interested. Of course, along with all the other socials and stuff like that for Parker down below. But with that, guys, I am super excited to try out this team, so let's get cracking. Okay, bad egg jokes aside, we have our first match here, and it is going to be Gholdengo, Incin, Gastron stuff. And I'm going to be honest, this is not something I was expecting to have to play. So we'll see what happens. I feel like I just want to leverage Trick Room, which obviously I think is like the 90% of the time what you're going to be trying to do with this squad anyways. I'm tempted to lead Zoroark and bluff it as something else. My only concern if I go with that route is going to be the fact that Gholdengo, and I don't really I guess I could Shadow Ball it. So what I would want to do is maybe bluff it as the Exeggutor. So what I think I'll do here is I'll go Indeedee Zoroark, keep Exeggutor in the back because I still think I want Exeggutor here. I do want the eggs just to deal with that Gastron in the end game. And then I think it's supposed to be Torkoal. Actually, what if I do Ursaluna and I just don't have eggs? But if I don't have eggs, what am I bluffing? I bluff Torkoal. I would need to bluff Torkoal as Ursaluna. Zoroark as Ursaluna if I do that. Because that way it's not going to reveal anything. It'll reveal it after turn 1, but after turn 1 and I click Hyper Voice anyways, they're going to realize that regardless. So I think I do this. It should be allowing me to... Yeah, I'm okay with this. I think this works. There is a lot to be said about maybe bringing, like I said, the Exeggutor into this, but I think if they do leverage the Gholdengo and they're leveraging the Dragonite, which they probably do in a matchup like this, or at least I think they probably should in a matchup like this, this should cover that lead option and just cover a little bit more options a little bit better, but we'll see. If I get it horribly wrong, I get it horribly wrong, but Gholdengo Volcarona, I'm actually very fine with. I am just going to set Trick Room with Indeedee. I'm Choice Specs, so I'm going to send a Shadow Ball into the Gholdengo here. I don't think they're expecting me to go ahead and send a Shadow Ball into the Gholdengo. So I think I'm safe to just try to Trick Room up myself. And I'm going to Shadow Ball this Gholdengo. If they call this and they Terra, if they're scared of a, what's it called? A high Headlong Rush and they Terra, I'm okay with that. I think as a whole though, I'd just rather get the damage off here. I am a little concerned about this Volcarona as a whole, but I don't think it's overall going to be a problem in the long run here. Like, I'm expecting Gholdengo to either switch, try to like nasty plot because they expect me to go like protect Trick Room, something along those lines. There's the immediate Terra though, so maybe I did actually end up scaring them here. It is going to be the Gholdengo, so Shadow Ball not looking as great as it was before. Do I lose? Does a double up into Indeedee get the KO now? It very well might. That is a Scarf Gholdengo, by the way. It's faster than Zoroark, so it is Scarfed. I mean, I don't know how to call Scarf Zoroark turn 1, I guess. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, Zoroark. Why does it have to be Scarf Gholdengo turn 1, game 1 that I played with this team? Heat Wave should not be killing Indeedee. Okay, cool. So we're still going to get a Trick Room up, and honestly, I'm not overly concerned, or not as concerned as you'd think I would be here. I'm just going to go immediately into Torkoal. Like I said, they're Scarfed, so they can't really do much about that. I'm going to click swap immediately out of Indeedee into Ursaluna, and I'm clicking Eruption. I see no real reason to not click Eruption. Is there a reason to not Terra Fire is the better question. No, I have no reason not to Terra Fire. The more damage I get here, the better, I think. I could save the Terra for Ursaluna, but I think I'd just rather just not give them switch-ins here. Let's just start putting the pressure on the board while we are in Trick Room. Let's get as much damage off as we can with this first Eruption. I'd imagine we're going to see like an Incineroar switch-in to some extent here. No, they're just going to leave both pieces on the field. So that either means no Incineroar or they didn't want Incineroar to take the damage. Both of which are two things that I can definitely see being likely, so don't necessarily want to jump to any conclusions yet. Honestly, I've just cycled in Ursaluna for free and got a Guts boost with my Flame Orb, so I really have no complaints. Down goes Goldengo. It's not surviving this. And I do agree that that's probably the piece they want to sacrifice. But as a whole, I have zero complaints about how this turn played out. They still can't fake me out because I have Psychic Terrain. Eruption is going to do crazy amounts of damage. Headlong Rush is going to start doing crazy amounts of damage. Overall, I'd say we're in a pretty good spot. We've got, what, 3 turns left of Trick Room? I don't see how they actually cycle out of this. Like, they literally cannot fake me out. Like, once you get into Trick Room with this team, it's disgusting. Like, we lost Zoroark turn 1. Like, our entire game plan did not work, but we're just in Trick Room now. And frankly, I don't care about that right now. They just protected on you, so let's make sure we get rid of the Volcarona slot. And I will just click Eruption one more time. My guess is Annihilate wants to click Protect here. And they're going to try and stagger the Protect and hope I mess up. So by doubling into the Volcarona, we'll take that slot out. If the Ape doesn't protect, it's taking huge amounts of damage from an Eruption. If it does protect, even better, we kill the other slot, and then we kill the Ape next turn. Overall, once again, just you got into Trick Room here. We've got Torkoal Ursaluna on the board with really zero issues going on against us here, so we're chilling. There's like no pressure coming back from the other side of the field. I think we're in a very good position. Once again, it's just the instant. I think if they can cycle in that instant to some extent, they're probably in a little bit of a better spot, but they do not do that. They're going to cycle out. That is going to be what? That is going to be Dragonite. Very good switch. And so now if Torkoal gets the kill on Volcarona, this Facade is killing the Dragonite, which is very strong. If Torkoal doesn't get the kill on Volcarona, but it does, that's good. Facade's going to go into... That might have mattered. I don't know my Torkoal calcs, especially versus potentially a defensive Volcarona. Tough to say if it was like offensive, defensive, so really tough to say if that mattered. If they didn't have a lot of bulk, I'm pretty confident we get that KO. But if it had bulk, then that crit definitely matters. But I think it just sped up the game more than anything. Because, okay, we kill Volcarona anyways that turn. They have Dragonite. They double protect. There's still another turn at Trick Room. I then get a kill. And I think we just win anyways. This just allows us to win without having to ever get out of Trick Room. So I'm okay with that. Headlong Rush, Eruption. I could Weather Ball, but I don't need to Weather Ball at this point. That's going to be game 1 for us. Jumping into game number 2, and we've got the MDB balance stuff, which should be fine, I think. Like, the biggest concern is actually going to be the King Gambit. Other than that, like, we should be able to get Trick Room up. That's one of the things that the team on this side of the field doesn't necessarily cover as often, or has a little bit more of a tougher time dealing with, I should say. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go in DD Gallade. Exeggutor doesn't really do too much right now. I definitely want a Torkoal 100% of the time. Late game Exeggutor is actually early game Exeggutor 2 could be very good. Actually, what if I went like crazy? What if I went Exeggutor Gallade? I'm kind of insane for this. And I should be playing like, you know, the more dedicated let's get Trick Room up option. But this also feels like something that could prank them, so I'm going to go ahead and send this. And along with late game Torkoal. My concern now is I'm kind of foregoing Trick Room. And I may never be able to get it up the way I'm approaching this. But I also have the pressure of, hey, now I have Exeggutor, and I put a lot of 50-50s in my opponent's head. So yes, I'm playing to that 50-50, but if I can win that 50-50 turn 1, or get that call right on the first turn, I am in a very, very good spot, I think, overall. So I think I'm going to go ahead and send it. It's a little more aggressive. I don't think it's probably the right thing to do, but it's definitely a position that I don't hate being in. So immediately, King Gambit doesn't necessarily want to be here. It's in front of a Gallade. They would have to Phantom Force with that option. I'm going to immediately go into Indeedee, and I am going to immediately click Expanding Force. If they get me on this, they get me on this. Good for them. Dragon Dart on its own should not be killing Exeggutor. Obviously, I don't think we're in a very... maybe I should have just stayed in and like Sacred Sworded. I just thinking this is a Protect. I just truly can't see King Gambit wanting to sit here and wait for this Gallade to attack. There it is. Okay, perfect. No complaints on that one. We're going to see a U-turn off the eggs. That is still fine because, like I said, I have my sash, so I don't mind. Now we have our Psychic Terrain up. This is going to be Rillaboom coming back in. That's just a really good turn for my opponent. Not much I can really say there. They cycled that well. I didn't factor in the fact that they would just U-turn off the egg, so that's on me. I still don't get horrible positioning out of this. It's not like, oh my goodness, I'm in the best spot in the world, but I definitely don't think we're out of the game by any means. Expanding Force is still going to do respectable damage. But man, that could have been such a better turn had I not, had I remembered that U-turn was a button they can click. I don't know, U-turn off of eggs as... I need to get Trick Room up now, so let me try to make that happen. Terra Grass absolutely makes a lot of sense. Trick Room. And I think I'm just going to let the eggs go. And I'm going to Sleep Powder. This Sleep Powder is going to go into this King Gambit. If they give me the Sleep Powder, great. If they don't give me the Sleep Powder, oh well. They could have also swapped to like the Safety Goggles variant of this team, which is a little bit more spooky for us. Obviously, we won't be able to Sleep Powder it. But I don't know that. I have to base this off what I think is actually in front of me. And what I think is in front of me is this Black Glasses, that dark spam. They are just going to fake out the eggs. That is more than fine. Is this a Sword Dance? Or is this just a kill on Indeedee? It's just going to be the Kowtow. Thankfully, we do go Terra Grass. I'm fine with this. And now we get to click things. I'm going to go Torkoal, and I'm going to do pretty much what I did in the last game, where it's Torkoal, and I swap it out Indeedee for the Gallade. Let me just check. I want to check the speed stat of this Gallade real quick. 85. Okay, so not quite as slow as I'd want. But anyways, Torkoal is going to hit the board. I'm going to threaten both slots with the Eruption. I'm going to swap Indeedee out in the Gallade. They can't Terra both, so there's no way they can launch a double attack right now. So I think I'm okay with that. We'll get that covered. And I'll just click Eruption. Whoop, that's a clear small ground. Let's click Eruption. They can't protect both. They can't live with both of these pieces. It's just not possible. I could see them maybe trying to go Terra Dark Sucker Punch into Torkoal, and then Terra Fire, and then like live or swap out the Rillaboom, but I think this is okay for the most part. I don't know what's going to switch in here. Should be Primarina? Yeah, okay. That's fine. I don't mind this. Obviously not like the best of positions for us, but I think as a whole I'm not really complaining about things right now. Because this is still going to hurt. Like Primarina is good, but that's not going to, it's still not going to appreciate that. I'm going to Psycho Cut. And I'm very tempted to swap Torkoal off the board. I'm just going to actually Weather Ball. Do I want a Weather Ball? I don't want to proc a berry. But at the same time, procking a berry is probably better than not procking it, because I don't want Primarina on the board for another turn. Interruption. I'm just going to spend damage. I don't know how to cycle in Trick Room, guys. I know Trick Room is like you're supposed to just send your damage. So there's the Sucker Punch. Torkoal takes, and this actually might leave Primarina outside of berry range now. Just barely into the range of what I'm expecting to be a berry, which is sadder than anything else. But yeah, there's the citrus. If it wasn't in that range, we would have been golden. We would have been golden, because this Psycho Cut's gonna do a lot. I know we're in grassy terrain, but like literally, had we kept it out of berry range, it would have been so good for us. Torkoal is gonna be alive though, which is very nice. The tough part now is going to be capitalizing on these last few turns of Trick Room. And that's really what the problem is going to become. We know there's a Rillaboom. They're going to bring it in. I have to kind of just switch in Indeedee. I don't really have another choice here. But the question is, what do I want to switch Indeedee in for? I think it's Psycho Cut the Rillaboom and bring in Indeedee for the Torkoal. I think this is correct, because I could see them protecting the Primarina and trying to drop like a Wood Hammer into my Gallade. Because I think they want to remove Gallade. Gallade is my one piece that's really going to be a threat to them moving forward right now. And I don't think Primarina can actually be killing Gallade at any point. So I think they're wanting to pressure Gallade down here. They are going to go for that fake out on the Indeedee, swap back in Gallade is going to get protected. Psycho Cut's going to not remove the Rillaboom, okay? And Moonblast. They do go for that Moonblast. Does not kill Gallade. Now we have to close this out properly. We go 2 turns left of room or 1? Are we real enough to double Trick Room? Guys, are we real? Do we double Trick Room? I know it's AV. It's going to be Assault Vest Rillaboom. So I don't want to double Trick Room because I don't think that's something I'm going to be able to get off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Psycho Cut into you. Oh, I have Psychic actually. And I'll send a Psychic into the Rillaboom, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. That's a Protect. That was expected. Yep. And Rillaboom's going to go down now. The problem is I'm forced to kill the Rillaboom, but I'm also forced to not want to kill the Rillaboom. So it's awkward and weird. Because I need to keep both their pieces on the field so that I was more than capable to get Trick Room back up. But I don't have a way to actually get Trick Room back up now because Dragon Pulse comes in. But I couldn't leave that because they were going to kill Gallade. So they send a Dragon Darts here. I assume Dragon Darts Hyper Voice. So actually, is there a... No, they just Dragon Darts Moonblast, right? And I can't do anything about that? There's never a position where I get out of Dragon Darts Moonblast? If there is a world where I get out of this, it's Wide Guard and they click Darts Hyper Voice. That's how I win this game. They have to click Darts Hyper Voice. I don't think they ever will. Darts go through Wide Guard, but basically I would need the Indeedee to live the singular dart. They U-turn. They Moonblast anyway, so it doesn't matter. U-turn Moonblast achieves the exact same endgame as Darts Moonblast does. Really not much I could have done in that scenario. Like I said, I think I took too much damage on the eggs early on. And I just couldn't do much. Like I just never, like I said, I got it, I let them get out of Trick Room and now I just couldn't finish the job, right? Had I had the pieces to do something outside of Trick Room, I might have had an option. But I took too much damage early on. Gallade getting hit by that Moonblast earlier, I was expecting it to be a Hyper Voice, but they did a good job at chunking that Gallade and putting me in a spot where all of a sudden I'm just going to go down. But alright, I do want to give up on this battle and quit now because I can't win. So now we've got Ceruledge Superior, and my opponent's kind of cooking. I think this just needs to be focus on getting Trick Room up and sweeping with Ursaluna. Based on what I see in front of me here, I think that's going to have to be the line. It's a matter of how I want to do it, because I still want to try and bring the eggs. I think the eggs, you know, have merit to some extent in a matchup like this. But I think as a whole, I really should just be trying to get Trick Room up and going crazy. And frankly, if I lead this, I don't see too much that's really stopping me from just going like Protect Trick Room and winning the game. Although is it better to just have you in the back and then try to switch you in and get a little bit more of a dedicated room answer going. Or not a room answer, but a room setup going. Superior should outpace the Zoroark if my calculations are correct. Then again, I can lead the Zoroark. Actually, yeah, I'll lead the Zoroark. I'll do what I did in the first set. I don't want Torkoal here, so I'm going to go Gallade and you. I mean, I could go Eggs, but Eggs probably just loses to that Ceruledge. Doesn't do a crazy amount to anything else, so I think this is a fine option. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little concerned about that Ceruledge. I think if I lose the plot and I lose my Ursaluna a little too early, that Ceruledge is gonna become an issue. So hopefully they lead like Ceruledge. I'm gonna try and do what I did versus that Goldengo in the first game today, where it's like they're not going to expect this to be Shadow Ball, right? But of course they are gonna lead pretty well into me. I am gonna just send like a Choice Specs Terra Normal Hyper Voice and Trick Room here though. And I just want to see what's going on. I mean, Superior, does it get access to Taunt? I feel like that's something that I should know. I'm just going to try and get Trick Room up, and I'm going to send Specs Hyper Voice. And I just want to get as much damage across the board as I possibly can. I don't think I need to Terra for the Gallade. I don't think I need to Terra for the actual Ursaluna that's in the back here. And if this is not like an Assault Vest Ursaluna on their end, I would imagine Specs Hyper Voice should be doing a very good chunk of damage here and taking out Pokemon. So we'll see. We're going to Terra. Are they going to Terra on their end? We'll see. I do really want to get a game where I can just use the eggs and win, but until then, they're going to go ahead and set up a Reflect, but I am a special Pokemon with Zoroark right now, so we definitely take that. There's a nice little Hyper Voice going off. I mean, granted, the Reflect is still nice because I do still have Ursaluna in the back. So they're going to go ahead and Blood Moon. That is going to remove my Zoroark here. But once again, that is massive damage up front. And now Trick Room set up after I've chunked a good chunk of pieces here. So I don't mind that. I don't mind wasting my Terra there. That does appear to be Assault Vest Blood Moon, by the way. So I should just be able to be launching damage into that next turn. And there's a Trick Room. So I will be bringing in Gallade. I don't necessarily have the opportunity. Yeah, it's Gallade first. I don't have the opportunity to immediately swap into the Ursa right now because I need to get the KOs, and I don't know if I can without it. So we go for this. And they are AV, so there's a chance they do live this Sacred Sword, or they do terrestrialize to something that can live the Sacred Sword. I'm going to send it anyways. I don't realistically have an option to not send it. We have two pretty decent special defensive Pokemon on the board, so they just wasted their Blood Moon. I don't think I'm ever threatened to be dying to whatever this Blood Moon decides it wants to go for, so I'm okay with that. They're actually going to switch out the Ursaluna. They do have a couple Ghost types, so maybe I could have gone for a Psycho Cut. But that's their own Indeedee, and I'm very fine with that. Psychic should remove this Superior. Superior is good, but it's not quite that good. Superior is going to go down, so they have a Reflect up, and that's pretty much all they've achieved. We now are going to be going Sacred Sword. Going to connect for sure, because the question is it Rocky Helmet? They are Citrus Berry. Okay, so they actually do live another Sacred Sword. I could Helping Hand it, though, which might be enough for the KO, but that'll be very close. There's the Cerulege. Okay. I definitely want to hit that Cerulege. Absolutely. I do not want to be in a spot where that Cerulege is getting set up. However, like if they protect and reverse Trick Room, I'm just gonna reset the room next turn. So I will double into this Cerulege. They're gonna protect the Indeedee. I'm so happy I didn't double the Indeedee. I'm so happy I didn't double Indeedee. I'm so happy I did not double the Indeedee like I wanted to. The Cerulege is actually gonna survive. Click Bulk Up, and that's, I think, just fine. They're actually not leftovers either, so that means they're probably just clear amulets. So Psychic goes into you. And there's what? 2 turns left of room. I could Trick Room on their reversal of my Trick Room, which could be very fun. Actually, I like that a lot. I'm going to cook. But what if they don't have it? I feel like that's just a toss, though, if they don't. No, because then I just reset it. Yeah, I'll Trick Room, and I'll just Sacred Sword into the Indeedee on that side. Uh-oh. 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 Sacred Sword into you. I'm not removing a piece now. They're going to go ahead and Bitter Blade and get all their health back as well. Almost killing the Gallade. I think I just cooked. I think I just tossed this game. I think I tossed this into trash, guys. I think I tossed this one into trash. Follow me, Trick Room. Save me. Save me. Follow me, Trick Room. Yeah, no, I definitely tossed this one to the trash. This is why I don't play games on the channel. That's why I play games on Twitch. That's why I don't play games on the channel. I toss too much for YouTube. Okay, this is fine. I do get the Follow Me Trick Room up, actually, by the looks of things, which isn't too bad. Unless this is like some random spread move that I didn't know what I was doing. Bitter Blade, they're going to get back to full health, which is... that doesn't even kill Indeedee. Indeedee is amazing. Indeedee is the best Pokemon in the world. Anyways, we're going to get our Trick Room back up now. And now we've got some uphill battles to climb. I'm going to double Cerulege. Yeah, I'm going to double the Cerulege. I'm going to go Psychic. And I think Psycho... I should really kill the Indeedee, though. Yeah, I'll kill indeed. I can't lose both Pokemon if I kill Indeedee, and that's kind of the concept. Actually, I can't lose both Pokemon anyways, but that's going to be a protect, which is why I wanted to double the Cerulege. But overall, I think this is probably still okay. Psychic comes on out, little bit of chip damage, pretty decent chip damage actually. Sacred Sword into the protecting Indeedee, that's fine. Killing Gallade, that's a very good play on their end because now Ursaluna gets to get redirected here. So I'm going to go Facade into the Indeedee, and I'm just going to go for a... It's Facade the Indeedee for sure because it's low enough to a spot where it's going to die to that. And then it's coming down to... I think I want to like redirect so they can't heal infinitely off of Bitter Blade. But I also just want to get a little chip of damage off of Psychic. No, I think it's just redirect. I think it is redirect and Facade. Kill that piece, I'll get burned, and then we'll go from there. Now we're going to get to see their Terra option as well here, which I'm expecting to see as going to be Grass to some extent. Dark. Okay. That's fine. Obviously looking to just get away from the Headlong Rush, which I had no intentions of sending. And this is why I followed me. Like I said, I did not want a big Bitter Blade going off into my Ursaluna here. So they'll Bitter Blade, they'll gain minimal HP back. I'll kill off their Indeedee, and this is going to be an interesting endgame. They still have the Reflect up as well. So I am going to need that Reflect to like not be on the field anymore. So that I can actually like reliably get KOs. I do think it's AV Ursaluna that's in the back there, so I'm probably just going to click Facade into that slot. And I'm going to have to just live 2 attacks from the Cerulege. Because with Reflect up, I don't think Earthquake's getting that. 1 turn of Reflect. I really don't think Earthquake on its own is getting that. So I'm going to Facade that slot here. I'm pretty confident they're AV based on the damage from the Zoroark. And we'll go from there. But man, did I toss this game by resetting Trick Room earlier. Or by like reversing the Trick Room earlier, I should say. Like I took myself out of Trick Room instead of just making them make the play on me. And that's on me. Facade, we're going to get this KO here for sure. Absolutely. And what I'm expecting here is a bulk up. I think this should be bulk up from the Cerulege. It's going to be a Bitter Blade. That's going to do way more than I thought it was ever going to do. Ursaluna, buddy, you okay? Ursaluna, buddy, you alright? Do I have 2 turns of room? If I have 2 turns of room, I might have a chance. I tossed this game so hard earlier, guys. I tossed this game so hard earlier, and I'm so upset. That's on me though. Like this entire game is on me. If I just like send attacks on that last turn of Trick Room or those last 2 turns of Trick Room, I win the game. I'm just gonna forfeit. There's no point. But like I said, if I had just killed Cerulege, which I definitely did, they gave me the KO on Cerulege. I don't know what I was concerned about. I got lost in the sauce, guys. It's unfortunate, but it happens. Alright, we're gonna call this one a bonus game because I'm positive I am gonna get absolutely cooked. I am positive I'm gonna get absolutely cooked. So we'll call this one a bonus game for you guys. I think this should be some pretty fun footage. I don't know why there's like 5 ice types on the other side of the field and a Greninja. I wonder if it's Terra Ice like Blizzard Greninja. I'm gonna try and get into Trick Room with Gallade. Have Torkoal in the back. Like that's just the option. I am definitely not bringing eggs here, so I think I just do that. Like I can't bring the eggs to this, guys. The eggs will get scrambled. I genuinely am concerned. Like, I think I might get cooked. Send help, please. Please send help. Why does it have like a sleeping Torkoal? Does it know something I don't? Am I about to get cooked by some like random tech? I feel like I'm about to get cooked. I don't know what's happening, but I feel like I'm about to get absolutely shredded. I'm going to Trick Room Sacred Sword into this Titan. Because I feel like it could definitely be Belly Drum to some extent. So I'm going to send Trick Room. And I'm going to Sacred Sword to Titan. This is going to be like Aurora Veil on their end, I'm sure. That's not Trick Room. This is Trick Room. And this is Sacred Sword into the Titan. Okay, we burnt their Terra early. I'm happy with that. Good to see. It is going to be onto the Titan. That's fine. Terra Ground. Is that problematic? That actually takes away their defense boost from the snow, so I think I'm okay with that. Gallade? Buddy? You doing okay? Alright, that did nothing to Indeedee. We're okay. We're okay. We're okay. Indeedee's alive. We're okay. That was terrifying. Oh no. Torkoal should just walk in and sweep now though. With 4 turns left of room, they don't have the wide guard user on the field. They can no longer Terra. So I am going to actually take this opportunity to get Ursaluna on the board like I did in that first set, and I'm just going to Eruption here. Could Terra Fire Eruption, probably should, yeah. Okay. Y'all get the bonus footage. Y'all got the bonus footage, that's crazy. We close this one out with pretty cool looking team, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Indeedee Eggy, because I just want to try and force this into the game. I also think it works, and I'm probably going to hard switch into Torkoal. I think is going to be my option here. Actually, no, what if no, I leave Torkoal and hard switch into Indeedee. That's the better way to do that. And then I think it's just Ursaluna, and I try to just plow through with it under the Trick Room mode. Yeah, I think that is a fair way to look at that. Let's try to wrap this one up. I do really want to bring the eggs to something, guys. So it's kind of like my 3rd or 4th battle where I'm just trying to force the eggs into something. Like, I played a couple games and like I just couldn't bring the eggs. So like I really do want to get a game where I can showcase like the expanding force from the eggs or the sleep powder or something from the eggs that's not just immediately dying. But we'll see. We'll see. This looks like something I should be able to get done, so. Wow. They're thinking. The eggs are scaring them. They have no clue what's going on. They are scared of the eggs. So if I'm my opponent, I'm probably leading something like Incineroar plus anything with Rillaboom in the back into me. So maybe the eggs doesn't get forced in here, but yeah, there's Instant Ape. I wonder if that's Goggles Ape or Goggles Instant. I wish I would know where the goggles were. I think they're more scared of the eggs than they are scared of the Torkoal. So I'm going to just save the eggs for later. I'm going to bring in Indeedee and I'm going to click Eruption. I think there's a lot of scenarios where they're just going after the eggs, and by switching the eggs out, we're in 20 times better of a position than we would be if we just left the eggs in to die again. So I think I'm going to just recycle these eggs, save them for later. You know, can't go wrong with some leftover eggs later on. Anyways, Indeedee's coming onto the board. That was a bad egg joke again, guys. I'm sorry. The egg jokes are back. What's happening here? Is it fake out? Do they actually click fake out knowing I have a potential Indeedee in the back? I think that would be weird, but they could. Immediate Terra we got to see, which I'm very content with. That's going to be the 8. I'm fine with that. Water? Immediate Terra Fire on the Ape. That's fine. Big concern now is trying to find a way to get through this instant. They go ahead and bulk up. Ooh. This is just a Flare Blitz, right? Like, surely this is just a Flare Blitz into Sun into what was the exit and knock off into the Indeedee switch in. Okay, that's not great. And Eruption, go. That's like really good damage from Torkoal. Like really good damage from Torkoal. I'm just going to follow me. Do I have the speed? I don't have the speed, though. So, like, I really do want to get Trick Room up. I don't think I ever do, though. I got a Helping Hand, Terrafire, Eruption. I think I'm losing Indeedee, but if I can kill the Incineroar, this leaves the eggs open to click Expanding Force in the endgame, and I'm absolutely okay with that. I know I'm losing Indeedee here, right? Because if I'm my opponent, I'm clicking Drain Punch, Knockoff again, and just taking down this Indeedee, not letting me get Trick Room up. That's got to be their #1 priority here, is just to stop the Trick Room. So we're just going to go ahead and let them try for that. And if they go for that, we get a Helping Hand, Full Power Eruption off, and we game. So they go ahead and Drain Punch. Indeedee does survive as planned. Now I wonder if there's a world where they ignore Indeedee here, thinking that the Drain Punch would have been enough. And they do go for that position. I mean, this is still a Helping Hand Eruption at full power, so I know I'm -1, but it's still a not Specs, but it's still Terrafire Eruption. Still going to do a good chunk of damage into whatever switches in. Smart on them to preserve their Incineroar, though. Absolutely a good play. Just, you know, that, what is that? It's not Rillaboom. Oh, this is not going to appreciate this, not going to appreciate this Eruption at all. Cool. It just died. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you, Torkoal. Alright. They are lefties on this ape. I do have to keep that in mind. Overall, though, we're actually not in too bad of a position. Like, this could have been a whole lot worse for us. I see what they were going for, right? Cycle in that in case I click Trick Room. But I already clicked Helping Hand. They knew I didn't have Trick Room. I definitely want to preserve my Indeedee now, though. I am going to swap Indeedee. I think it's just immediately into eggs. And I'm going to just Weather Ball into the into the Rillaboom. I want this thing chipped. It's presumably going to be like an Assault Vest option. So I want this Rillaboom chipped as much as I possibly can have it. Eggs will come in and then force their hand to try to swap back into Incineroar at some point. They're going to go ahead and fake out the Torkoal. That's fine. And we're going to see a Drain Punch into what I can only assume is the eggs. Yep. And now I'm not in a bad spot. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to click Expanding Force and cycle Torkoal out into Indeedee just to reset the Torkoal. I mean, Torkoal took a lot of damage that I don't really want to have to deal with again. I have to worry about this Annihilate that's getting set up, getting a lot healthier as well with that Drain Punch, with those Grassy Terrains. So let's get the Grassy Terrain off the board. Let's go for the Expanding Force. Let's get our Indeedee back on the field. We're going to lose Indeedee here. We're going to get one Expanding Force off. So it's not like the best of positions. But I think as a whole, we're okay. We've got the Terrafire. I wish I would have been able to get Trick Room up. That's my one regret in this game, is not getting the Trick Room up. I think I needed to force it a little bit more. But that's, like I said, my one big concern is I really wish I would have just been able to get Trick Room up a little bit more freely. Would have been a lot better spot. There is the Protect. I wonder if this is a U-turn off of the Rillaboom here. And if it is a U-turn from the Rillaboom, we've got Indeedee back on the board for, I don't want to say free, but for relatively, yeah, okay, so we lose eggs. I can just not get these eggs to work, guys. I've tried. I cannot get these eggs to do anything. Maybe I'm supposed to, like, protect or do something there, but this is going to be immediate instant. The problem now is they've kept their Rillaboom. I think I have to just go straight into Ursaluna and click Headlong Rush. And I just have to kill the ape. They have Fake Out Pressure, but only if they cycle out into one and then click Fake Out. Like if they have to cycle out Ursaluna, they have to cycle out the ape into Rillaboom and click Fake Out, which I can't see them doing. I'm going to go ahead and send a Headlong Rush, and I'm going to try to force the Trick Room. I don't think they're going to let me get this Trick Room, but I'm going to go for it just in case they do. I would be shocked if they, like, doubled my Ursaluna here. I really can't see them giving me Trick Room, but then again, I said that earlier in the game, and they would have just given me Trick Room, so. But earlier in the game, it was like they may have thought one thing was going to kill. Like, I'm pretty sure they just thought the Drain Punch was going to get the KO, and that was a pretty safe play. So now it's like they really just they just have to get rid of Indeedee. If they let me get Protect Trick Room up, I think they're absolutely cooked. I cannot see them letting me risking that. I absolutely cannot see them doing that. They're going to switch out the instant. I'm fine with that. That means this is what I can only assume is going to be a Drain Punch into the Indeedee slot. And if it's not, then we're getting our Trick Room up. Yeah, it's going to be a Train Plant into Indeedee, and that was expected, right? Like I said, they can't just give my Indeedee. They can't just leave Indeedee here. I don't know if this is going to get the kill. This is where the game gets a little bit interesting, because if I can get this KO, Torkoal can win this endgame. Ursaluna's great. Ursaluna's amazing. So despite not having Trick Room up, I'm going to just stay aggressive with Ursaluna right now. They can't kill it with the instant, and the Torkoal's coming back on the field for what is relatively free. And Sun should be gone as well now. Perfect, and we get perfect turns back of Sun. And honestly, I think Torkoal can win this game. Should be good enough HP number-wise. Yeah, no, this should be fine, barring any sort of crazy high horsepower option. I'm going to Weather Ball, because I do think they're going to pressure the Torkoal. The Torkoal is the threat right now. Actually, is it Eruption? It should just be Eruption, right? Because if they double Torkoal to stop Eruption from doing all that much damage, yeah, no, it's double, and then I just Facade into the Rillaboom, and I Eruption. Maybe it's supposed to be Facade into Instant, but I am covering for high horsepower on the, yeah, that's fine. Is it just a Wood Hammer? I guess that's fair. Could I have double protected? Did I have protect on this Torkoal? I don't think we do, right? If this Torkoal has protect, this is on me. That should have just been a double protect to scout that, but yeah, that's on me. Okay, I still click Eruption here. If they're high horsepower, I think they got me. I need them not to be high horsepower. But we've seen U-turn already. So, assuming fake out U-turn, yeah, okay. This is still going to hurt, don't get me wrong, but the Eruption will kill in return. They're going to knock off. Lose my Charcoal boost, so that's a little unfortunate. Eruption go. Get rid of Rilla, which it definitely will from this range. Yeah, okay, yeah, I don't think I ever beat the Instant now, though, is the problem. I don't have Earth Power. I can't afford to protect because I'm giving them too much health, so I just have to send a Weather Ball. Yeah, but I tossed when I didn't double protect. Knock off 66 into 33, so I will live another one. Weather Ball comes on out. I need this to just be a two-shot somehow. I can't see it being a two-shot. Oh. Does Flare Blitz kill my Torkoal? I send Weather Ball because I can't give them another tick of health. So I send Weather Ball. They do knock off. I should live. It did 33 last time. I do survive. Torkoal Gaming? Roller coaster of a last game for you guys to finish off here. Torkoal, buddy. No, Torkoal! Yeah, I think I should have just given, I should have accepted the fact that I was giving them health. And had more health with Torkoal. So 2 turns. If I double protect on the turn they kill the, yeah. All I have to do is double protect, because then I win. Because then they have to focus down to Ursa on the turn I kill the Rillaboom, and Torkoal actually wins this game. So that's 100% on me. Okay, we're going to wrap this one up here, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Long story short, team was a ton of fun. I made so many misplays in this episode just because, like, there were turns where I'm supposed to just try to force Trick Room, you know, make them respect my plays, and I wasn't doing that. That was just, I think it's just a bad session on my end. I don't play these types of teams, and I definitely think it's showcased here. Overall, I think the team is a ton of fun and definitely has potential. The eggs were fun to use. I tried so hard, guys. I tried so hard to find you guys a battle where I got the eggs going, but I strictly ran out of time. I just couldn't find them. Unfortunate, really. Zoroark was decent when we brought it, but I think the real MVPs of this team, in my opinion, was just that standard Trick Room stuff with like the Indeedee, the Torkoal, Ursaluna, and the Gallade. Those guys were solid all day long, and as long as I wasn't being bad with the team, I think the team itself functioned very, very well. Really cool team, really fun team. Shout out to Parker for, of course, sharing it, and congratulations to him on his top 4 at the regional. But with that, guys, we're gonna get on out of here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys do enjoy the content, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and of course, I really do appreciate it. But with that, I will catch you all in a future video.